Hello everyone, welcome to Full Stack Development Series episode 7. In the previous episode, I hope you have gone through the episode 6 video where I discussed HTML, CSS, and I created a simple like a student portfolio website using HTML, different tags and CSS styles, external CSS with Bootstrap, so that to make website what we call responsive. And I completed hosting in GitHub using GH pages. We simply called as GitHub pages. Okay, but if you just look at that previous episode, whatever I demonstrated, where it is completely static, where you can't log in and you can't register also, and it's just only to display the data, and I can't even modify dynamically. It is not possible. So because it's just a complete static website only, static website only using front-end technologies, like we call it as client side. Now I just want to make dynamic. So I want to develop dynamic websites. So as I covered in my episode 5 regarding front-end, backend, full stack and all, everyone knows that full stack is nothing but front-end and plus backend and the database. So I already shown you how to create a simple portfolio website using front-end, which is HTML, but not React. Now, how to develop a backend using Spring Boot, you already know that, and database is MySQL or PostgreSQL. So episode 7 is all about how to install a backend software, which is Spring Tool Suite. You know, to develop React apps, we need Node.js runtime environment, so which we already completed in episode 3. Now to develop backend applications. Indeed, Spring Boot projects, we need STS. We call it as Spring Tool Suite. Right? So let us all install Spring Tool Suite in this episode. After this episode, like from episode 8 onwards, I'm going to start my backend. After that, I'll start React. Finally, React with Spring Boot. Okay. First of all, I want to cover the backend concepts. Okay. So episode 7 is all about how to be ready with the Spring Tool Suite so that we can create Spring Boot projects from episode 8 onwards. So there are 3 ways we can create Spring Boot projects. The first one is I hope you already have Eclipse IDE. Otherwise, you can just check my episode 1, Java, JDK, Node.js, VS Code and what we call Eclipse IDE installation. We can integrate STS in Eclipse IDE. That is first one, Spring Tool Suite. The second one is you can separately install Spring Tool Suite IDE. That is second one. And third one is you can create Spring Boot project using Spring Initializr. Spring Initializr, we call it as start.spring.io. Spring Initializr. Right. The website is I'll show you. I'll lift up that. So start.spring.io. These are 3 ways, and some people will create through console also. So these are the 3 main ways. Or you can just create Maven project with Spring Boot, adding the Spring Boot related dependencies. That is the other way. So what is Maven project? What is Spring Boot dependency? Everything we'll discuss in the upcoming episodes. Okay, this episode is all about installation of Spring Tool Suite, so that if we're ready with that, IDE so that we can start creating Spring Boot applications. After my discussion on what is Maven, what is Spring Boot, why Spring Boot is evolved, why not Spring, what are the disadvantages of Spring, everything we'll discuss in the upcoming episodes, right? So let's start with the first episode, way, Eclipse IDE. So let me open Eclipse IDE, right? I already installed, I've shown you installation of Eclipse IDE in my, what we call, in the episode 1. So let me cover the first way, Eclipse IDE. So launch. I created a separate workspace called as Eclipse Workspace. I hope you already know that in my episode 4, which is Java Masterclass. Okay. Let me close all these tabs. You go to window, 1 second. You go to window. Let me close it. You go to help, Eclipse Marketplace. This is the first way. Because with the Eclipse IDE, you can't create Spring Boot projects. We need to add extra plugin. Okay. You type here Spring, just Spring, or you can type Spring Tools Suite also right here. Here, Spring Tools, Aka means other name, Spring Tools Suite 5.2.0 is the latest version. So you need to choose this, install. If you got any kind of Windows during this process, you just accept it, okay? Select all, confirm. Some people will get some kind of a pop-up boxes stating that accept this, accept that, and all. You read the agreements, everything clearly, and then you can accept. So this is the first way of creating Spring Boot projects by integrating Spring Tools in Eclipse IDE directly. No, instead of having other separate IDE, we can do this. So you need internet stable internet connection to perform this. Click on finish. Installing software. The software installation is being processed. The software STS is being installed. It will take time because it is a complete Spring Tool suite which contains all kind of. Some you'll get this kind of window, so you just need to ensure that select all. I mean, it is asking you to uh, trust all the authorities or not. Always trust. Yes, I accept the risk. First select it. Meanwhile, let's talk about the second way, which is STS IDE. So you type Spring Tool Suite IDE in the Google. You go to Spring Tools. You can see separate IDE. Like the first one is in VS Code. Also, you can create Spring projects by just having this what we call extension. We'll discuss later. So if you want, I can add that point also. VS Code with the Spring Tools also, but that is add-on extension only. But IDE is VS Code, and the next one is cursor agent, Eclipse. Eclipse like we already discussed, no Eclipse like, and the next one is, let me download. Give me 1 second. Your file Spring Tool Suite IDE download. Spring Tools for Eclipse. We already done it, right? STS download 4.20. This is the extension for IDE. Go to Eclipse, Windows 64. Yeah, the zip file is downloaded. Let me just put it in software folder. Software folder. Let it be downloaded. And then let's come here. Yeah. Select all. Always first. I accept the risk. Select. Restart now. Let's restart. So the first way is integrating STS in Eclipse IDE. That will be better because for any kind of project, you can use Eclipse IDE itself. The Eclipse IDE is getting restarted. Right. So when you just go to File, go to New, choose Other. When you type Spring, so you can see Spring Boot option here. So without integrating this Spring Tool Suite, you will not get this option. So from now onwards, you can start creating Spring Boot projects in Eclipse IDE. That is the first way. It is done. How to create the Spring Boot projects, what type of the Spring Boot projects we need to create, we'll discuss in the upcoming episodes. This episode is all about to be ready with this Spring Boot option in an Eclipse. So the first way is completed. Now the second way. So let us all go to software. The zip file got downloaded. Let me group by type. Let me extract this. Extract all. Extract. This is the second way, but I'll go with Eclipse IDE only. But different people will go with different options. That's their wish. So it's separate IDE will be there. Same as it is Eclipse, but separate. Unexpected error if you continue. this path is too long. Okay. So in this case, we'll do one thing, cancel it. So just remove this file. Like what I'll do is like instead of having this so much path, just put Spring Boot for Eclipse, just Spring Boot for Eclipse. That's it. Okay, whatever the extract already the folder, you delete that. And now extract. I'm closing Eclipse. There is no use as of now because I'm not going to create any kind of. So this is completed, done. I'm skipping this. Some kind of a video or whatever it seems. So this way. Right. The timeline is still long, but we can something like that. Then now open Spring Tools with Eclipse, STS. You can see it. This is exe file, Spring Tools for Eclipse. Just run this file. So the separate ID will get open like this. But my suggestion is like I'll go with Eclipse with the Spring Tools route only. But I'm just showing you different paths because I'm not confining to any IDE specifically. Some people will use IntelliJ also, that's their wish. So it is showing some kind of C users, documents, workspace by default. Let me just choose my own, what we call Eclipse workspace separately. So that I'm using a same workspace for every IDE, Eclipse workspace, launch. Same like just Eclipse, there is no Spring Boot option. So that's why I added Spring Tools route. So that's why the name itself is like a Spring Boot, Spring Tools route or Eclipse, right? Skip proceed. So here also you can see new other, you can type Spring here, Spring Boot, right? So this is the second way. So the second way is also completed. The third way is you type start.spring.io, we call it as Spring Initializr. Without IDE, everything, you will have this interface to create the project. Okay. I'll talk about this every field in the upcoming episodes. So whatever you have chosen now, after that you need to click on generate. Like a zip file will be downloaded. So we need to save that file. Like this, we need to generate the file. And you can go to either Eclipse or you can go to Spring Tools IDE, go to file, import, uh, import Maven, existing Maven projects, click on next, click on browse. And we need to choose the project, the demo project. Let me choose general instead of file, import general existing projects into workspace, browse. I think I saved under softwares. Yeah, softwares. Where is it actually? 1 second. I have saved and demo.zip. Okay, I think I think I need to, yeah, that's the problem here. I just need to extract this. Extract all. Yeah. You can choose like Marvin also. Like this, you can choose like variables, software, demo. So you need to choose like this. Okay. So the first way is Eclipse IDE. The second way is STS IDE separately. The third way is you create the project here and you download it. But this is not the what we call. I mean, because whenever you just want to add any dependency in future, so it will be a problem. You need to add everything manually in the file. So I'll not prefer this option. So my best option is either Eclipse IDE with the Spring Tool Suite or Spring Tool Suite IDE separately. Okay. So as we are ready with the backend Spring Tool Suite, so from episode 8 onwards, 8 onwards, we are going to start Spring Boot series, right? Where I'm going to cover Marvin, what is Spring, what is the advantages and disadvantages of Spring, and what are the advantages of Spring Boot, why Spring Boot is evolved, and then we'll talk about the Spring Boot different concepts and how to build backend APIs using Spring Boot and how to connect with the database, and then we'll connect that Spring Boot with the React, and then we'll talk about the advanced concepts like security, everything and all. Then we'll create a simple project at the end of this full stack series. Okay. Like from upcoming episodes are very important. Like I'm going to start a Spring Boot. So please do watch my Instagram, my YouTube channel for more useful content. And please follow my Instagram channel for all the updates related to upcoming schedule, everything and all. Thank you so much. And thank you so much. Thank you.